What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're just going to basically talk about 5 reasons of why I chose the Colorado Trail Boss over any other midsize out there. So a little bit of background, if you guys didn't know, before this truck I've had a ton of vehicles, but before this truck I did have a 2017 Volkswagen Golf R. That car was a blast. It was tuned just to stage 1. I had some other mods on it, some piping, some of that good stuff. So I had that Volkswagen Golf R, and I was driving to work one day, and basically I saw a Colorado driving down the street. Before all this, when I did have an F-150, it was my choice between an F-150 and a Colorado. I went with the F-150 just because of space and having a newborn and moving things around a lot. And we did use it once or maybe twice to move, towed a vehicle from California all the way to Colorado. But lots of things, lots of good purpose of why we had that F-150. But so yeah, I got into the Golf R after the F-150, and I'm driving to work one day and I see this Colorado, and I'm like, man, I wasn't sure if it was a Colorado, but it was a 3rd gen, right? And they were just fresh off the lot, fresh coming out. And I see it and I'm watching it and I'm like, man, that's a nice looking truck. And it kind of takes a lot for a vehicle to catch my attention. So when that did, I couldn't help myself but to get online, start looking around, trying to figure out what it was. And there it was. It was a Colorado Trail Boss. So I start looking at them and I'm like, man, they're not too expensive. You know, I'm seeing them for like 40 to 45-ish. And then you get into the ZR2s and you bump up to that next level. But I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. So I go on YouTube, start looking around. I find Downtime Loss. I find his page and I see what he's done to his Colorado, and I start looking at him more and more. Long story short, I go online and I'm looking at the prices and I'm comparing it to the other mid-sizes, right? So that's going to be number 1, is the price point for the mid-size, okay? So I got mine for what? It was stickered at 40, right? With the little bit of options that I had on it. They were really trying to sell me on the side steps, and I'm like, dude, I don't even want these things. It's not a selling point. But long story short, I walked out with it stickered at 40, got it for 38K out the door, and then good old financing and all that fun stuff went through. So for a midsize being around 38 to 42K, that's definitely a major reason of why I leaned more towards this truck than the others. So number 2, we're gonna go with capability off-road, right? Capability off-roading, as far as it comes with the rear locker, okay? It comes with 4-wheel drive. It comes with 4-low, all that good stuff. And the main thing was okay, I get a locker, I get a rear locker. I really wanted a front locker, but if you want that, you got to upgrade to the ZR2. But the Trail Boss, it tracks 2 inches wider as well, so that's always a good thing. More stability, right? And the rear locker, that kind of really sold me. And what I was doing as well is Downtime Lost. I was watching a lot of his videos, seeing what he was doing off-road, and dude was just killing it. He's got a Colorado Z71, it's a 23, and he's keeping up with the Tacomas, he's keeping up with the Lexuses, and he's out there killing it. So I'm watching him, I'm like, man, these trucks can put in some work. Obviously I wanted to upgrade mine as soon as I could and just kind of get a little more comfortable with the vehicle, and then I'll start getting into that harder stuff like that guy. But all right, number 3, we're going to go with aesthetics. Going back to what I previously said, I seen one rolling down the road. Didn't really know what it was, but I was just kind of tracking it, looking at it, you know. For something like that, like a stock vehicle, to catch my attention, that's kind of hard. I've always been into cars, got into trucks, got back into cars, and now I'm back into trucks. So the aesthetics of them, even stock-wise, they look great. Like I said, they do get a little bit of attention. It's just because they look so great. Obviously, I wish the Trail Boss came with the LED lights up front and that little running strip and all that cool stuff. But this will do for now. I do have LEDs up in the front. Speaking of LEDs up in the front, I had a company reach out to me. They're trying to send me some upgrades for my headlights, my low beams and my high beams, because I got some off-brand low beam in there, and then my high beams are still the stock halogen bulbs, if you didn't know. That's why they're never on. But anyway, yeah, aesthetics on these trucks, they just look great, especially once you get up to that ZR2 trim. You know, their little cutouts, all the cowl, all that good stuff. I do really wish I had a cowl on this truck. Maybe in the near future I'll get a ZR2 hood just because it looks so great. But yeah, aesthetics, they go a long way. These trucks look great in my opinion. Hands down, best looking midsize, if you ask me. Just my personal opinion. Going on to the next one, probably size and legroom. So on the Trail Boss, it comes with a little bit of, you got the fender flares. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but I do feel like the overall body is wider. Like I said, it does track 2 inches wider, but the body of it, it almost looks like it has like a miniature wide body kit on it. And I love it. Completely love it. So with the size of it, the Colorados, they do have the most legroom you can get in a midsize truck. Comparing it to the Rangers, the Frontiers. What else do you got out there? The Tacomas. So how can I forget them? But yeah, so we have the most legroom in the Colorados back there. And as you guys can see, I do have a car seat back there. It's a little bit tight, but it gets the job done. And my son has never complained about space or anything like that. Even when I do have a passenger in here, adult passenger, he's still got plenty of room. So that one was a good one. I did have a F-150 previously, and I could literally almost stand up in the back seat, walk around, and still have plenty of room. But then again, we are in a midsize now, so leg room and size for me. Boom. All right. And then the last but not least, sorry if you guys can hear that, my phone blowing up over here. So last but not least, we're going to have to go with, it is a truck overall, okay? I came from the Golf R. Like I said, awesome car. But I do some outdoor stuff. I like to go fishing. I want to get more into camping. I used to do it a little bit as a kid with friends and a little bit of family. But yeah, so with a truck, you can go places where others can't, okay? You got 4-wheel drive, you got extra cargo space in the bed, and of course, my fishing poles, I made them fit. They used to work in the Golf R. With this shorter bed, I had to do some little bit of research to figure out how I can get the poles to go in there and not bend them up or break them down. But overall, it works great. And like I said, it's a truck. And if I need to tow something, I can. I had to tow in the F-150 a couple times. It wasn't too common, but you know, with the truck, you can get things done. And for the very, very last one, this will be number 6, okay? But this is kind of like a bonus. Overall, the Colorados, they have pretty solid aftermarket support. The Gen 3s were lacking for a little bit, but I feel like we're kind of finally getting up there, all right? I would not be surprised to see some Dirt King stuff coming this year. And then obviously Deviate Off-Road, they've supported it pretty early on, you know, with the bumpers, the lighting for the bumpers, all those small things, but it all adds up. So yeah, those are the 5 reasons of why I picked a Colorado Trail Boss over any other midsize. If you guys have any questions, you guys can hit me up on Instagram, leave a comment, a like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. But I do appreciate you guys' support. It goes a long way, helps me out, kind of keeps me wanting to grow, kind of meet more people, and get out there more often. So I appreciate you guys as always. I will see you in the next one. Peace.